What's up, guys? It's Hardcore Stocks here. In this video, we shall be taking a good look at Circle. As you can see, Circle has been in a massive downtrend for a long time. And I'm so sorry I haven't updated us on Circle for a while. Looking at the situation of things, we could see the last time I made a video on Circle, I made it known to us that, Circle has broken out, and we could see Circle rallying all the way to $155. That ended up not being the case because obviously the stock market has kind of peaked to me for a very long time. We're just rallying using the AI wave to rally. So we're just rallying using the AI narrative. Yep, that obviously the best way I can put it. So, we could see clearly right here, if I should move this to the daily time frame right here, you could see it obviously that Circle has been down. And the situation of the market also, it's bearish when you talk about the war, when you talk about since Circle is kind of related to crypto, when you talk about Clarity Act is less likely going to be approved this year 2026, but rather 2027, which is still on probability. So all this right here are definitely every reason why the market is actually bearish right now. And with the situation of things, if I were to be asked that, okay, what do I think about Circle? Do I think Circle will head lower? I would say yes, Circle can still head lower depending on the situation of things. Now back to the 4 hours time frame right here, we could see that this is definitely Circle in a downtrend right here. This is a crazy downtrend. You could see that whenever we come in contact with this level, we are always getting rejected, especially given the fact that you could see this has happened multiple times, over 3 times of multiple rejection. And that aside, you could see we would have found support around here at $90.48, but that just ended up not being the case. We rather found support around here a little bit, went up a little bit, and we ended up breaking below this support right here. We broke below $90.44, dumped all the way even below $81.77. So, in terms of how things can be, I would say we could still end up dropping all the way down to 59.60. This can be a possibility. Maybe when we get there, we could probably rally much higher. Why? Because you could see it clearly that this was definitely where we started, the market started rallying massively for Circle. You could see we are able to find some major support around here, and this was where the market, the bulls and the bears, agreed that okay, this is a valued level or a valued price where we can use to send Circle up. So we could probably fill in most of these gaps right here. You could see this gap here at $71.15 all the way down here at $65.47. This is actually a very good place to fill for Circle to obviously fill that gap, and I think this will most likely play out. So we could see Circle dumping all the way down to $60. And looking at the news right here, we could see that leading US banks join forces on tokenization network. And based on what I can see right here, I can see that the biggest American banks plan to build a shared tokenized deposit network by the first half of 2027 to protect their deposits from the threats posed from stable coins. So you could see major banks are scared of the Clarity Act being approved because obviously they know for sure that when people end up realizing about crypto, people will definitely obviously stop putting some of their money in the bank, and definitely the banks obviously want these commercial banks want all our money. So, it will be a huge loss on their end, even if it's 5% of majority of their users or their audience or their customers start depositing their money into crypto related stuffs. And you could see tokenized deposits are a blockchain representation of customers' money held at major US banks. The new system will convert deposits into digital tokens that can be transferred quickly on a blockchain. So the use of USDT, USDC, all these stable coins that people use to transfer money quickly without having to go to the bank, the whole hassle and stress of going to the bank to, set 1 or 2 things. When you're sending using stable coins, there is no need for you to complain. Nothing like your money is hanging, or weekends you can't go to the bank, stuffs like that, our limits at which you can send money. So all these limitations are definitely what people will see to leave this commercial bank. That's why we see the moves coming from JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Citi Group, growing increasingly, which increasingly worried about, these banks are actually worried about stablecoin competing against them for consumer deposit. And the banks are lobbied heavily in Washington, D.C. over the past year to try and prevent stablecoin from offering yield on deposits similar to the interest provided on bank accounts. So obviously, once stablecoin starts leading, we are most likely going to see a flow, a move, a shift from commercial banks into stable coins, then from stable coins into altcoins, Bitcoin especially. So and when people realize the genuinity, the transparency in the blockchain, people would definitely want to stay there longer than wanting to go into the stress of going to the bank, meeting traffic for something urgent and all whatnot. So I think that is definitely all I can say for now. If you do enjoy this video, subscribe, turn on post notification, smash that like button, and share this video with your friends, guys. Peace out.